Alrighty, everybody. First of all, I want to say Merry Christmas to all who celebrate, and that better be everyone listening to this. If I find out that you're not celebrating Christmas, I'm about to give you what for, alright? And it's not just the Christian aspect of it, alright? It's the capitalist aspect of it too. You know what I mean? You better be praying to the Virgin Mary, and you better be not giving anyone an ounce of welfare. All right? If you're listening to this podcast and you don't believe in either of those things, get the fuck out of here. All right. But it is Christmas Eve right now. I did decide to record this on Christmas Eve because tomorrow, yeah, I'm not recording an episode on Christmas, dude. I don't know. Something about it just doesn't seem right. And I did just take a nap, so I am kind of, you know what I mean? I'm riding on cloud nine. It wasn't even one of those like super long naps. It wasn't probably wasn't more than 30, 45 minutes, but it's like, you know how like sometimes your phone or like any electronics acting up and you just restart it for like 2 seconds, you know what I mean, just to get all the gunk out. I don't really know how phones work, and I don't really even know if it does anything. It's probably the fucking placebo effect. I'm probably like, dude, why my phone is so much quicker now? It just needed a second break, but that is how the human body works, I'll say. I don't know, just shutting down your mind and body completely, even if it's for just, I think this was like a good like 20-minute nap, 30-minute nap, and I was like, dude, I was like tired as fuck. You know what I mean? I was the type of tired, like my tongue didn't feel right in my mouth, you know what I mean? Like my tongue was all like hot and heavy. I couldn't move it right. Uh, I really can't move it right at all. Like you guys have heard me misprint. You guys have heard me say my alls like that. You know what I mean? So you know it's not always fucking ideal, but this is, you know what I mean? I'm leaning. I'm on the fence. You heard me? Wish I was, but no, it is Christmas Eve right now. I did just take a nap, and it's a nice 40-degree Christmas. It's a nice balmy. It's very warm outside for Christmas, dude. I'm just global warming. Look, good or bad, man-made or not, I don't know. I'm not here to decide that, all right? Although I probably will come out with a statement on that soon, dude. That's not even wouldn't be in the top 10 most controversial things I've ever said on this thing. Um, but no, it is getting warmer, dude, and I kind of measure like the heat. Like obviously, I'm not measuring the heat exactly. All right, I don't believe any of these dumbass fucking science nerds. All right, I use my own method. I don't know. I don't know what. I haven't coined a term for this method yet, but just like it kind of like when my balls stop sticking to like the side of my legs. You know what I mean? Like when I don't sit down on a chair and it's not wet afterwards. I'd say that's my metric for like when fall kind of starts. And it's not the same for everyone. Some of you guys listening to this have like boyish tucked in sacks, you know what I mean? Some of you guys got like nice mid length, you know what I mean? Like a nice porn star ball sack, you know what I mean? Me personally, I have a long ass ball sack, dude. I'm talking that song, Do You Chain Hang Low? My balls hang low. My balls are at my knees. I'm tripping over those things constantly. Like some people, they get kicked in the balls, I get stepped on the balls, you know what I mean? But And I think that transitions well into our boy Krampus, who is a wintertime demon kind of guy. You know what I mean? And anyone who is listening to this knows the podcast oral presentations. I might have accidentally taken this one from him, but I don't think I did. Um, I think he did some kind of winter demon shit, but Krampus, look, it's Christmas. I feel like that's the most well-known winter demon from that Adam Scott movie, which I was like, dude, even in second grade, I was like, dude, or not even like fifth grade, I was like, what are you doing? You're a comedic actor. Why are you trying to rock a serious role? Turns out it's a pretty decent movie, allegedly. I haven't seen it because I'm not trying to watch a Christmas horror movie. I do hate that shit. When people are like, my favorite Christmas movie is The Nightmare Before Christmas, or like even fucking worse, Die Hard. It's like, dude, just be a normal fucking person, all right? Everyone's favorite is The Muppets Christmas Carol. We all know it. It's the best movie, all right? So just do that. Stop being a fucking edgelord about Christmas. That's like the gayest thing you can be edgy about. Or like when people like Christmas is a capitalist holiday now. It's a pagan holiday. It's like, dude, why are you being such a gay fucking like just tell me what your parents did to make just such a gay nerd about Christmas. Just get your fucking disgusting food because the food is not always great, dude. Like a chocolate orange. My mom always gets these chocolate oranges, and I'm always like, so good. I don't eat dark chocolate, dude. What's the point of eating candy if it's not sweet? I love the bitterness of dark chocolate. Then drink a cup of fucking coffee, all right? This isn't candy. It's a punishment. It's dirt. It's cold, dude. Krampus. That's what Krampus was doing. He was shoving fucking dark chocolate oranges down people's throats. But Krampus. So we're starting off, like I was saying about these gay nerds who always call Christmas is actually a pagan holiday. It's pagan. And oh my God, the way they say pagan too. Pagan. It's like how fucking retards say it. Actually, I say it the exact same way, but I'm not. I know I haven't beat the allegations. I'm accepting the allegations, dude. If you can plead guilty to having like half an extra, I don't have a full extra chromosome, but I probably have at least a half an extra one. You know what I mean? And I'm not denying that, dude. I feel like that's my superpower. The reason I know I don't have a full extra one, dude, my neck is too thin. I just have the thinnest fucking like bobblehead neck. You know what I mean? So I know I don't have it, but. I, I certainly have many of the other features too. I just love tits. I fucking love wrestling. What else do I do? My eyes, kind of. I don't know. I have a different type of retard eyes. You know what I mean? I have like alcoholic eyes, I'd say. You know what I mean? Like there's something. Maybe it's the kidneys, maybe it's the liver, possibly pancreas. You know what I mean? Maybe the intestines are fucked up. One of my organs is failing me. That's the type of eyes I have, I'll say. But Krampus. Is he is of unknown origin. He's somewhere in Central slash Eastern Europe. So somewhere around that type of area, you can tell this is like some dark forest European. My guess is it came out of like the forests of like Germany. You know what I mean? Because you get up far north enough to like the Nordic countries and like all their myths kind of have to be super happy because it's just such a dark, depressing place. And then you go like south enough and like just the weather is so nice. They're too lazy to come up with these stories. So I think Central Europe is like a good guess. In Eastern Europe, they're just too dumb to come up with these stories. So I do, God damn it. Same could be said for the South, dude. The fucking Italians, those guys are not the brightest bulbs in the bunch. Um, but my guess is Germany. And I think also something that like rings true about Germany for this is just like the blind willingness to accept that it's true. You know what I mean? Like if you look at Germany throughout history, anytime throughout history, they just like pick something and just believe it no matter what. All right, you had the big oopsie back in like the 1930s and 40s. You know what I mean? That's what they picked, and now they're just going crazy on the lib shit. You know what I mean? Cutting kids' dicks off and like gluing them to their faces, dude. They're making Krampuses. They're transing kids and making Krampuses over in fucking Germany right now. So I'll say my guess, my money is on Germany, like a dark forest in Germany, like 1100s. That's my guess. But that's all we got. And so, like I was saying about the physical description of Krampus, he does not have a dick on his face, but that could be scary. You know what I mean? Tell the kids Krampus is gonna come fucking, you know what I mean? You know how those people with gauged ears, how like their ears are all like they take the gauges out and their ears are all loose, dude. That's what Krampus is gonna do to your asshole if you keep fucking, you know what I mean, waking me up at 5:30 in the goddamn morning. But he does not have a dick on his face, so that's not happening. And he doesn't seem to have a schlong at all. I looked at some pictures of the boy. He's like a Barbie down there. He's like Ken, you know what I mean? He's just smooth, and that's probably why he's doing this to these kids. You know, that's why he's all angry all the time. He just can't. He's he's trying to nut so hard, dude. He's just rubbing that stump against whatever he can. He's just trying to get one out so he stops eating kids, but it's not working. Um, but the physical description, I added in the nub part. It seems to be accurate, but he has horns like a goat. You know what I mean? So it's not like cool ass cow horns. It's kind of like they curve back or they like twirl to the side. That's actually is kind of sick, but it's you know what I mean? Not huge horns, and some of them are pretty big actually. But he has one disfigured human foot and one goat foot and a long tongue, and he's covered in black hair, like thick black hair. And you know that to me, you kind of just like you just like described an Italian with diabetes. You know what I mean? Long ass tongue. I don't know. Are Italians? Do they stick out their tongues? I'm gonna start that rumor, dude. You know what I mean? The Italians have gotten off too easy for too long. You know, they think they're the shit now with all those mafia movies and like the fad of the Mediterranean diet. I'm starting a new rumor about Italians. All Italians have like long like snake tongues. You know what I mean? Like venom tongues. That's my new phrenology. You know what I mean? Like back in the day when people were measuring people's skulls and stuff, I'm gonna start doing that with Italians. With people I suspect are Italian, I'm gonna say, let me see that tongue. That thing's longer than I don't know how long a tongue is. 5 inches? You're fucking. I know you got to drop a whop in you, dude, and I'm kicking your ass out of here. Um, but yeah, covered in hair, messed up feet, horns. Sounds like an Italian to me, dude. I don't know what fucking wops you guys are looking at, but sounds Italian to me. Which that does disprove. Maybe he came out of the Alps, you know what I mean? Like when the barbarians sacked Rome, he moved over to Germany, took a new form. But that is Krampus's physical description, and that does seem to be agreed upon. Sometimes the hair is like short and like bristly hair. I don't know, like a bear, and sometimes it's like long and shaggy, like a fucking sheep or like a muskox or something. I don't know. Krampus is rocking all sorts of different stuff. Maybe it's just like he fucking decided to grow his hair out, dude. What if Krampus gets locks, dude? Is that cultural appropriation? You know what I mean? My name is a Krampus, and I am here to eat your children. Dude, fucking Krampus is, he might be Haitian, now that I'm thinking about it. I don't know. The Haitians, long tongue, fucked up feet. I can, yeah, I'm especially with the fucked up feet shit and like those dreads they have. You know what I mean? Like those Haitian, those thick Haitian dreads. Yeah, they're not really a hairy group of people, I wouldn't guess. You know what I mean? They're from a warmer climate. They could be though, and they eat people. They like to munch on dudes. I think Krampus might be Haitian. I take it back. But the Haitians, dude, those boys are getting hell anyway. They got barbecue down there, pouring the fucking gate sauce on boys. You know what I mean? So no, I'm not going. I'm standing firm that Krampus is Italian. He's not Haitian. Could be sick if he was Haitian though. Um, but he usually is covered in chains. Oh shit. Yeah, no. Never mind. I'm going up one. I skipped one. So Krampus is the companion of Santa who punishes children. And speaking of black people in Christmas, you know what I was just talking about with the Haitians? Those boys in Europe, they got some traditions where they, you know what I mean? They go Robert Downey Jr. and Tropic Thunder on the thing, you know what I mean? And I'm not talking like shoe polish blackface. We already went over the blackface talk. These are like Candace Owens type blackface. You know what I mean? It's not too dark. It doesn't, you know what I mean? It's like at first glance, if they were in like a crowd of people, you'd be like, why is that? Because they dress up like jesters too. They do blackface and they dress up like jesters. And so if you like saw the student in group, you'd be like, never seen a black dude dressed like that before, but like they are always wearing like some new like fangled shit, you know what I mean? Especially like African black dudes. I feel like they're kind of dressing up in like an old school type of way or like wearing some crazy stuff, you know what I mean? Like they're mixing like their tribal roots with their, modern roots. I don't know. Like you just see it in a crowd and you're like fucking I guess black people are wearing jester clothes now. Black people are dressing like clowns now. That's fucking what's up, I guess. But no, it is blackface. And I do think they do the hair too, which is it is very funny that they do the hair too, dude. Because and they like try to defend it. It's very fun. They're like, it's our tradition, or horget, because it is like the Nordic. I think it's like Denmark and like Belgium and the Netherlands and stuff like that weird collection of countries, dude. And it's like your tradition was wiped out when you guys surrendered to the Nazis in like a week. You know what I mean? Like for you guys to talk about how strong your tradition is, like, no, dude. The old H-man got up there and fucking hit you guys with a sledgehammer. Stop doing blackface, dude, or we'll send him again. All right? Chill the fuck out. Um, but Krampus is the companion of Santa who punishes children, and they were saying like the reason for that is because Santa is like based on Saint Nicholas or whatever, so they can't have him punishing the children. But I don't know. It's like God punishes people. He fucking did it a lot, especially in the Old Testament. So I don't know. You're saying Saint Nicholas is better than God? He can't whoop some kid ass. God killed everyone on the planet except for like a family of people. So I don't know. Controversial take on that one. I think if Saint Nick was pulling up and beating on some boys, you know what I mean? It's not the end of the world to me. Especially, you know what I mean? You're showing that someone isn't just gonna, you know what I mean, slack off, let it be. But I do feel bad for Krampus because it's like Saint Nick is just he's leaving him in the trenches, you know what I mean? Making him the bad guy. He's like a yeah, he's making him the bad guy. I don't know. I was gonna try to like bring that up in raising children, but I don't know. I've never raised children before, and I don't talk to people that do because Why the fuck would I want to think about that? Why would I want to think about my life being about anyone other than me? But Krampus is covered in chains to represent that he is bound to the devil. And I was like, dude, I wonder if he wasn't bound by the devil. Do you think he would be good or bad? You know what I mean? Like, do you think if Krampus wasn't bound by the devil, would he keep eating the children? Like, is the devil making him munch the kids, or is the devil like restricting how many kids he munches? So, is like the devil like the good guy or the bad guy in that situation? Because he's obviously got the leash on him like a dog, like he's a pit bull. So, Krampus is a pit bull, dude. He munches kids. He fucking he's fucked up looking and he munches kids. Um, he might be he's an Italian pit bull, but he is yeah. So the devil is he the good guy or the bad guy in this situation? Is he making sure kids get munched, or is he does he have like a quota to meet? Like is Krampus just like a devilish bureaucrat down there in the castle of Pandemonium, the palace of Pandemonium? Is that what he's doing, or is he kind of just going hog wild and the devil's got to direct him? You know what I mean? Is he planning out which kids he munches before he gets there, or does he try to munch every kid and then the devil's like, no, don't munch that one. No, don't munch that one. Get that one. I don't know. We're gonna have to. I've got some questions to ask. All right. Look, I got a lot of questions to ask the Germans. You know what I mean? They got a lot of things to answer for, but that might be at the top of my list now that I'm thinking about it. You know what I mean? Um, like how is all of your food so bad? Like I know you guys aren't like cut off from the rest of like how is it? It's just like a gray tube of meat. That's what you're eating. Is that why you killed all the Jews? I mean, I'm not blaming you. Like if all I ate was gray tubes of meat and like 2% beer, I'd be fucking pissed too. So, I'm not mad. I'm just saying. And it's like what good foods are from Germany? None. I don't think. Like beer isn't even a top 10 alcohol, I don't think. Yeah, it's not good. It probably wasn't even invented there. You know what I mean? They probably invented like the shitty like craft beers there. Like the worst things about beer, like the fact that people are like into it and they make their own beer and they like the taste of beer. Like all the worst things about beer are from Germany. You know what I mean? Like this is the fancy brewing process, and it's like no, dude, it's gonna taste like piss whether you put a ton of effort into it or no effort into it. It's the nature. It's fermented fucking wheat. You know what I mean? The only reason bread tastes good is because we put other shit in it. I don't know. That's all I've got there, dude. But he was, and I found this out. And this is going to be a little tangent here, and this is going to be a more planned out tangent. I'm not just going to make a tangent that goes nowhere. It probably will go nowhere, but it will be planned out. But so he was banned in fascist Austria, and apparently Hitler didn't like fascist Austria. I don't know. Hitler must have been a fan of the Krampus, dude. You know what I mean? Maybe he had Krampus in those camps, munching on the munching on the boys. I don't know, but he didn't like fascist Austria. Like, fuck, what was the dude's name? It like started with an R. Let me see if I can find it. But like, and this is like Hitler times too, like the 30s. So yeah, it was the Dollfuss regime, and he was like a yeah. Yeah, he just didn't like this dude for some reason. Like he was always beefing with the Nazis, even though they were like same shit, different toilet. I don't know. Austro-fascism, yeah, dude. Corporate fucking I don't know, dude. But yeah, this guy banned Krampus, and I maybe that's why Hitler fucking did what he did. He was like Christmas or fucking Krampus is my boy, and you're just gonna do that? Hell no. All the Jews have to die. God damn it. Look, we're talking fascism in Austria, all right? I know I said I would start doing Chinese accents instead of talking about the Jews, but I don't know how I'm gonna do it, dude. It's so hard. I think if the Krampus went to China, I think they'd munch him, dude. I think I think they'd turn the tables on him because I mean they're munching all they're eating bats. You know what I mean? They're munching on whatever. They definitely munch on the Krampus, dude. Maybe that's why Santa doesn't visit, dude. Santa touches down in China and just immediately they descend on his sleigh. They just eat, they rip Rudolph's fucking nose off and turn it into medicine like they did, dude. Maybe that's why Chinese kids don't get presents. That's why they make those guys are the elves. Now that I'm thinking about it, Chinese Santa, dude. Chinese Santa in his fucking sweatshop full of baby elves, dude. Look, it tracks. Little people, they kind of look weird. They're weird looking little people, and they make toys all the time. Santa might be Chinese, dude. Is Xi Jinping Santa? Dude, the CCP's got to hire me, dude. I just spun that shit perfectly. I just made Xi Jinping Santa. I might have to delete this part and make the CCP pay me for that. Um, and look, hey, I'm not above that, all right? I'll take any sponsorship I get. I fucking ISIS, you want to give me some money? I'm down. I don't even know if you guys exist anymore. Whatever regime is going to be next in Syria, whatever weird, like, whatever fucking that group is, it's all the same. It's like Islamic militants who fucking want to kill everybody else. Kill everybody. Uh, but if you guys want to fucking sponsor the show, I'm down, dude. I could probably get your recruiting numbers up. I know some very dumb people who would just join the cause. You know, I probably would. If you guys could guarantee me, what would I need? Yeah, there's nothing actually you could guarantee me, dude. I do not want to fucking munch goat all the time, dude. I need my pork. I just need that fatty shit. Like people like diss pork because they're like the secular view of not eating pork is that animal or that pigs are such like smart animals. They're like, it's as smart as a 2-year old. And it's like, dude, a 2-year old probably tastes fucking delicious, dude. They don't move. They don't think ever. You know what I mean? They're kind of chubby, but they're not like the bad kind of chubby. You know what I mean? They got like that good fat on them. They're not too sinewy or whatever. A 2-year old probably tastes fucking delicious. All right? That's why pig tastes so good because they're so smart. Just eating it, knowing how much like more superior I am than it just I like that's why I like eating pork. I don't even like the taste to be honest. I hate the taste. It's covered in fat. But just like knowing that I killed an animal that like is capable of like feeling emotion, it makes the food I can feel its pain and it just makes the food better. That is the Chinese mentality, dude. They torture the fuck out of dogs before they munch them, dude. That's like the main problem that people have with people munching dogs in China, I think. Is that they like dip them in they put these dogs in like James Bond traps before they eat them. If they were just munching them straight up, like all of Africa eats dogs and no one gives a fuck. But the Chinese, they just like put them into these elaborate ass traps, dude. They're like, if you can escape this trap before we eat you, before time runs out, we will not eat you. That's what they're doing to these dogs. They're like dipping them. They got like a fucking. They're dangling these dogs over like pools full of alligators, dude. That's why everyone has beef with China munching the fucking Fidos. You know what I mean? Um, but speaking of munching, so Christmas or not Christmas, Krampus, he puts bad kids in a bag to be eaten, drowned, or took directly to hell. And I don't know, maybe sometimes he just leaves them in the bag, but that like all that just kind of seems like they're going to hell regardless. You know what I mean? If you make me so pissed like that I'm putting you in a bag, or like you make Krampus so pissed that he has to put you in a bag, I imagine you have done something to go to hell. You know what I mean? So I feel like it doesn't matter if you're getting eaten or drowned, you're probably going down there anyway, dude. Um, but yeah, that's what Krampus is doing. He's throwing the kids in bags. And that's what the Chinese are doing to dogs, dude. They're throwing them in bags and like fucking chucking them in the water, dude. They are not treating these pooches well before they fucking, you know what I mean, bite into some dog leg, which I don't know. I even like my fat dogs, like we do have a couple chubby puppies, you know what I mean? They live outside though, and it's like kind of cold outside, so it's like fair enough you're kind of chubby. But even them, they seem like so sinewy, you know what I mean? It doesn't seem like a good meat. It doesn't seem like they have a lot of meat either. They got like the front and back legs. I don't like I pet my dogs and I just like feel spine and ribs, you know what I mean? Or like fat and then spine and ribs. It doesn't even seem like they have back straps. So I don't know what the fucking boys in China, dude, they always eat the most least efficient food possible. You know what I mean? Like snakes, bats, dogs. None of those have like that much meat on them compared to like a cow, like relatively. Like relative to their size, like dogs don't have as much meat as a cow. There's no way a bat even comes. What are you eating on a bat? Bats don't have. Are you just eating like the skin in between like their wings? What are the boys munching on the bat? I don't know. Uh, but Krampus was it like one of the original coal bringers? Now that I'm saying it, I think that blackface guy also might have been a coal bringer, and that's why he was black. But then why is he like regular like black? Why isn't he like covered in soot? I don't know. Maybe they're saying black people are made like maybe he like takes a chunk out of his arm and that's the coal. I don't know. But it's not even that dark. I don't know. Maybe that's unrelated completely. They just wanted to do blackface and they were like fucking coal, dude, you know. They just related it to that. But Krampus was the original coal bringer. Um yeah, and that's all I've got as far as him being a coal bringer. I don't know. Maybe he took it out of the bag. Maybe like each piece of coal he took out, he threw a young toddler in there to munch on later. I don't know. Leave out your kid, dude. Leaving out your kids for fucking Krampus to come munch on them. Leaving out your kids for Epstein. You know what I mean? Epstein clauses coming down the chimney. Leave your young girls out. I don't know. That went that truthfully that thought started and ended with the fact that Epstein is a pedophile. Went absolutely nowhere. But dude, there's no way they invited fucking Krampus to the island though. You know what I mean? He would have been the biggest party pooper of all time. It's like bring out the kids, fucking we're about to go hog wild. We got baby oil and kids. It's about to be a grand old time. And then Krampus just started munching them, dude. It's like you fucking took out the best part of this thing. I think Krampus wasn't invited to the island. Maybe a controversial take there. I don't know. Could have been. I don't think so. You know what I mean? He did that movie with Adam Scott. He's like a C-lister. You know, and C-listers aren't going to that island. They might like the C-listers. Those guys are like getting in trouble for like selling cocaine and stuff. You know what I mean? C-listers are getting arrested for like wire fraud. Like Big Baby Glenn Davis. He was just trying to get the perks. You know what I mean? But that's where Krampus is at. But what the fuck does that say? Oh, Protomelus Krampus is a type of fish. He got a mid-ass fish, dude. He didn't even get that good of a fish. He got like it's just like a regular white fish and it has like an underbite, you know what I mean? It kind of looks like I don't know, like any dude in a cartoon who smoked a cigar, that's kind of what this fish looks like, you know what I mean? It's got like the underbite, big underbite too, dude. The, this might not even be a species of fish. It might just be a retarded fish. You know what I mean? But they're saying it's a type of fish. So I feel bad for Krampus on that one. You know what I mean? He's eating bad kids, and you're just gonna give him this shitty ass fish. Santa Claus probably has like the sickest animals named after him, dude. He probably has like a fucking as far as fish goes, he probably has like a sick ass like a cool looking reef fish, and Krampus is stuck with this retard. I I don't get it. I don't get the hate. And Krampus didn't even do blackface like the rest of these fucking winter helpers. So I don't know. Give Krampus a better fish. Um, but and then I was like, dude, we gotta redeem Krampus. You know what I mean? It's like, yeah, he did all those things. He did munch on the kids, but a lot of other people munched on the kids. Like the Maori. The Maori were munching on kids for like fucking 1,000 years before the British came and killed all the kids for them to munch on. But still, they were munching on kids, and now, you know what I mean? Everyone's like fucking sick, dude. They play rugby and have face tattoos. It's like the coolest shit ever. So if Krampus is munching on kids and he's munching on bad kids, the Maori were probably fucking munching on all the kids. So the guy who directed Godzilla versus Kong was the same guy who directed the Krampus movie. And that's all I could get for redemption on Krampus, dude. It kind of seems like he went quietly into the night and he was like a true hero, you know what I mean? Like I feel like if we paid more attention to Krampus, we could have prevented the Holocaust, you know what I mean? Maybe that's why Hitler fucking yeah, Hitler we probably stopped believing in Krampus and he was like, "All right, fuck this. I'm giving you Hitler." You know what I mean? Hitler could have been dead in a bag somewhere getting munched on by Krampus, and instead, you know what I mean? Now we have to deal with Israel Palestine all because you guys couldn't fucking give Krampus a sicker fish. All right? This isn't my fault. Fucking I might have to go discover a fish just to prevent the next Holocaust. But that's all I've got for this episode, dude. It's Christmas Eve. Got a new game today. I did have Christmas with my grandparents and my brother and that whole group of people, so that was pretty fun. Um, Kicked the shit out of my nephew's heads, dude. My brother just had a baby and I stuck my finger in its soft fucking spot on its head. It was a great old time, but that is all I've got for this episode. If you're listening to this on Christmas, Merry Christmas. If you're not, fucking have a great day, great week, great month, great rest of your year, great rest of your life. Hopefully I'll see you guys Sunday. Peace out.